Welcome back to the series, everybody. We're on day 43 now, approaching the end of the series. We're going to be tackling practice test 9 throughout these next 4 episodes, starting with module 1 of the math today. We're going to jump straight in with the first question. Here we have the length of two sides of a triangle are 4 centimeters and 6 centimeters. If the perimeter of the triangle is 18 centimeters, what is the length in centimeters of the third side of the triangle? Okay, so we know that there are 3 sides, so it's going to be 18 minus 6 minus 4. It's going to give us our last side. So we'll call the last side C, and C is going to be equal to 18 minus 10, which is equal to 8. Question 2. Which equation has the same solution as the given equation? Well, what we need to do in this scenario is, since all our answers are equal to 16x, we're going to solve for 16x, which is going to be equal to 160. And now looking at our answer choices, that is going to be answer choice C. Question 3. Ty set a goal to walk at least 24 kilometers every day to prepare for a multi-day hike. On a certain day, Ty plans to walk an average of 4 kilometers per hour. What is the minimum number of hours Ty must walk on that day to fulfill the daily goal? So if he wants to walk 24 kilometers every day, and he's walking at 4 kilometers per hour, we can divide 24 by 4 to find the number of hours, which is going to give you 6. Okay, next question. For the function g is defined by g of x is equal to x squared plus 9, for which value of x is g of x equal to 25. So if g of x is equal to 25, we have 25 is equal to x squared plus 9. So 16 is equal to x squared. So x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 16, which is, so x is equal to 4 and negative 4. 4 is one of our answers, so yes, that's going to be our choice. Question 5. Which expression is equivalent to 9x squared plus 5x? 9x squared plus 5x, if we factor out an x, we get x times 9x plus 5. Looking at our answer choices, this is going to be answer choice A. Another way to go about that problem, by the way, is distributing each one and seeing which one equates to this, but that obviously takes up a lot more time if you can't see it. Question 6. Each value in the data set shown represents the height in centimeters of a plant. What does this mean, height in centimeters of these plants? Okay, to find the mean, all we're going to do is add up each of these values and divide by the total amount of values. So to check how many values we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to add 6 plus 10 plus 13 plus 2 plus 15 plus 22 plus 10 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. And that's going to give us 90 when we add all of those up. And now we do 90 divided by 10. That's the amount of values we have. And this is going to give us 9, which is going to be equal to our mean. Next question. A student council group is selling school posters for a fundraiser. They use the function p of x is equal to 5x minus 220 to determine their profit p of x in dollars for selling x school posters. In order to earn a profit of $900, how many school posters must they sell? So if they're looking for a profit of 900, we're going to set p of x equal to 900 and then keep our right side of the equation the same. We're going to move 220 to the other side, which is going to give us 1,120 is equal to 5x. Now we divide 1,120 divided by 5. And that's going to give X is equal to 224, and that's the amount of school posters they must sell to reach that profit goal. Question number 8. Jay walks at a speed of 3 miles per hour and runs at a speed of 5 miles per hour. He walks for W hours and runs for R hours for a combined total of 14 miles. Which equation represents this situation? Okay, so we're only looking for one equation, not a system of equations. So if we know that he walks for W hours and his speed walking is 3 miles per hour, we know that the total amount of miles he walks is 3 times W. And then this applies for running, where it will be 5 times R. And we know the total amount of miles in total is 14. So now looking at our answer choices, 3W plus 5R is equal to 14. That is going to be answer choice A, which is going to be our answer. Question 9. John paid a total of $165 for a microscope by making a down payment of $37 plus P monthly payments of $16 each. Which of the following equations represents this situation? Okay, so we have 16P for our monthly payments plus a down payment of 165, down payment of 37, sorry, and then also a total of 165 in payments. So this is going to be equivalent to answer choice C. And if you didn't manage to write out this equation on your own, just think of it like this is our slope times x, this is our y-intercept, and this is our y value that we're given for this scenario. That's how it relates to the y equals mx plus b equation, but in this scenario, you're just writing out your situational equation. Question 10, the given equation relates to positive numbers p, x, and y. Which equation correctly expresses y in terms of p and x? Okay, so for this, we're just doing manipulation of variables. So we're trying to express y. So we have y is equal to px plus 57. We're just moving the 57 over here. And this is going to be answer choice B. Question 11. A company opens an account with an initial balance of $36,100. The account earns interest and no additional deposits or withdrawals are made. The account balance is given by an exponential function A, where A of t is the account balance in dollars t years after the account is opened. The account balance after 13 years is $68,071.93. Which equation could define A? Okay, so if after 13 years we have that value of $68,071.93, we know that, first of all, A of t is equal to 36,100 times our rate, we'll call R, times t. We don't know the rate, so what we're going to do is plug in our values here, which is 13 and 68,071.93 to our equation. So we get 68,071.93 is equal to 36,100 times R to the 13. Now, since we have R to the 13, first we're going to divide both sides by 36,100. And we're going to keep it all as one term. So it's going to be 68,071.93 divided by 36,100 is equal to R to the 13. Now what we're going to do is take the 13th root of our value here, 193 over 36,100. And this is going to be equal to, use our calculator for this, 68,071.93 over 36,100 to the 13th root, which is approximately equal to 1.05. Now looking at our equation, we'll have A of t is equal to our initial value times this rate times the amount of years. And this is equal to option A. But you didn't really have to do this whole process if you could really eliminate your answer choices earlier. We know that initial value isn't this, so this isn't the correct answer. Same applies to this answer. And for this answer, we know that the rate is going to be positive since it earns interest, so it's also not going to be that answer. I just showed you this process for the purpose of a harder problem maybe showing up on the real test and you being able to solve it in that scenario. Okay, question 12. The circle shown has a center O and a circumference 144 pi and diameters PR and QS. The length of arc PS is twice the length of arc PQ. What is the length of arc PR? Or arc QR, sorry. So we have PQ and RS, and then we have RQ and PS. So we know that PS is twice the length of PQ, so we'll just call this 2x and 2x, and we'll call this x and x. So we know that 2x plus 2x plus x plus x is equal to 6x, and we know that 6x is equal to the circumference, which is 144 pi, and now dividing 144 by 6, we get x is equal to 24 pi. So what is the length of QR? QR is 2x, so that gives us 48 pi, which is answer choice B. Okay, next problem. Question 13. The solution to the given system of equations is x comma y. What is the value of x? Okay, so for this, we're going to use substitution. We're going to substitute y in. So we get 3x plus negative 2x is equal to 40. So x is equal to 40, which is your answer. Now, question 14. The frequency table summarizes the 57 data values in the data set. What is the maximum data value in the data set? Well, looking at our data values, it goes in ascending order. 14 is our highest, so that's our answer. Question 15. One leg of a right triangle has a length of 43.2 millimeters. The hypotenuse of the right triangle has a length of 196.8 millimeters. What is the length of the other leg of the triangle in millimeters? So we have 196.8, 43.2. This triangle isn't drawn to scale. I'm just drawing it for visualization purposes. Now we know that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. We can say this is a, this is c. C is always going to be the hypotenuse. Now 43.2 squared plus b squared is equal to 196.8 squared. Now b can be solved for by moving a to the other side. and we take the square root of both sides, and we get b is equal to, plug this into our calculator now, and we get 191.86, which is 192 when rounded to the nearest millimeter. And yeah, that's correct. Oh, I plugged it in wrong, but it does come out to 192 exactly. So yeah, ignore the 191.8. It's 192 exactly. Question 16. A wire with a length of 106 inches is cut into two parts. One of the parts has a length of x inches and the other part has a length of y inches. The value of x is 6 more than 4 times the value of y. What is the value of x? So we know that x plus y is going to be equal to 106. And we know that x is equal to 6 plus 4y. Now what we need to do is find the value of x. So what I'm going to actually do is use substitution and then solve for the other variable. So this will give us 6 plus 4y when substituting that in for x, plus y is equal to 106. So we're going to move 6 over this side, so we get 100 is equal to 5y, and y is equal to 20. Now that we have this y value, we can plug it into the first equation of x plus y is equal to 106. And this is going to give us x plus 20 is equal to 106. So x is equal to 86. Answer choice D. Last question for the day. The function f is given. Which table of values represents y is equal to f of x minus 3? Okay, so we are plugging in the same x points for each of these tables. And we know that when we plug in -6 to f of x, we're going to get 0, because this is going to be 0. When you multiply anything by 0, it gives you 0. And with -5, same thing. And with 4, same thing. But now we need to consider our new function g of x, which is equal to the same thing as f of x, but we're subtracting 3. So whenever we have one of these former zeros being plugged in, we're going to get a value of -3. So when we have -6, we should have a y value of -3. That's incorrect. This is correct. -5, another 0 gives us a value of -3. 4, another former 0 gives us a value of -3, so that's going to be our answer. These other options don't give us a value of -3, so they're also incorrect. We're going to stop here for today. I hope that these problems taught you something and will help you in your future practice tests and real SAT tests. And I hope to see you all in the next video.